Hey guys, welcome to this week's Unhacked. I was asked online via @TheGreekOlive24 any tips for aspiring wrestlers, so I thought it'd be cool to give my top 5 tips. So we're gonna do that, but first. So tip number 1, go to an amazing wrestling school. It will be absolutely worth it, not only for the lessons you learn by the great experts hosting these schools, but by the connections you'll make with the guys within these systems. These are guys that are fully dedicated and committed, and by having them around you, they will push you to be better, they will demand more from you, and just create a better version of yourself. There's so many out there, right? Canada used to have the Storm Wrestling Academy. Unfortunately, that has closed down, so I would look into Ontario maybe. The BC scene might have a great wrestling school too. I haven't heard too much about their training program, but if you're in the United States, Seth Rollins has one, Kane and Dr. Tom Pritchard have one. There's the Monster Pro Academy, the Creative Pro Academy. I'm sure there's more too on the West Coast that I'm not aware of, but there really is a lot of opportunity out there. All the information is online to find these places. I have to put over Mike Quackenbush as well with Shikara and their training school. There's so many out there. The UK, I believe, too, is just flourishing right now with places that you can really learn your craft. There's a lot of great places to learn, but like I said, the answers are online as far as looking up where to go. Absolutely worth the time. I wish that I could have made it to a proper wrestling school to be able to train me. It just wasn't feasible. I got let in the back door of the business, and slowly, it took a long time, but slowly I learned the craft a little bit and got to be as good as I am today, just over time getting in there and putting in reps. But the school, not only for the lessons learned, but for the connections as well. Your classmates will push you to be better, and the coaches will push you to be better than any other wrestling school will be able to do. So keep an eye out for those and pay attention. Now for tip number 2. And as you're growing up, you should partake in other sports. Now, this might seem counterproductive to some of you, but really, if you think about it, whether it be martial arts or football or basketball or gymnastics, taking sports like that along the way as you're growing up, because you can't physically get into a wrestling ring and start learning, will give you the foundation to be successful in pro wrestling. And again, this is something I wish I knew as a kid, and I wish I was pushed into as a kid, because it can really go a long way with building your body for pro wrestling. Martial arts can give you the background as far as holds and protecting yourself, and then football can teach you strength. Gymnastics can teach you your stretching. Basketball with things like vertical leap. All of that can apply to pro wrestling. But I think the number one takeaway from being on sports teams and pushing yourself athletically in different things is the discipline. You have a team when you're in most of those sports, but as a pro wrestler, you're on your own. So to be able to learn that foundation of having the discipline to be able to chase your goals, to be able to get into the gym and build your body up and learn how to build your body up through these workouts and the necessary requirements to achieve success in those sports, it will transition successfully into pro wrestling. Something a lot of people don't think about, but I really think it's important to take advantage of those things. So gymnastics can improve your stretching, your flips, your jumping, your landing. Football can teach strength and conditioning and cardio. Basketball will be very much cardio and strength, and your vertical leap even, which could help with some high flying moves in the future. The martial arts, of course, with the holds and everything, it makes a lot of sense to go after other sports. They may not be your passion, but if it's something that you can get into and learn from, I would absolutely take advantage of those opportunities in your youth if you want to become a professional wrestler. Tip numéro 3. That's French for number 3. Take up graphic designing. And this may seem like a big stretch for some of you, how would that help you in pro wrestling? But this has actually been the biggest asset in my repertoire. That's also French, I think. Because I was self-taught graphic design, and it's really helped me build some really strong connections within the industry. This is actually what got me my foot in the door in pro wrestling. When I wasn't trained, I was 120 pounds. I had long hair, I was super introverted and shy, but this got me my in. I was able to design a website, I was able to design posters, and all of a sudden I became a huge asset to promoters. Now, later on even, this has helped me big time forming new connections with pro wrestlers, because every wrestler needs some quality 8x10s that stand out from the rest of the crowd. And t-shirt designs is another thing. So if you're able to teach yourself or go to classes that teach you graphic design, whether it be through Photoshop or other programs, or even video editing as well, you will become an asset to other people in the locker room. And not only for them, but for yourself. I've been able to design my own t-shirts, all my own 8x10s, all my social media graphics, things like that. When you're a pro wrestler, you are your own promoter. You're the only one advertising your brand and building that up from the ground up. So to be able to design your own stuff, make it look flashy, and separate yourself from the rest of the crowd is a huge asset when, again, just distinguishing yourself from every other pro wrestler in the locker room, in the province or state, or in the country. It really is a huge deal. So I really recommend taking up graphic design to become a better pro wrestler, believe it or not. Tip number 4. Woo! Start vlogging today. Not tomorrow. Start today. And there's a lot of reasons why you should be starting today and not waiting until you are a professional wrestler. Number 1 is you can start building that audience, creating awareness for yourself, telling your story of how you want to be a pro wrestler, and sharing your process of how you're getting there, whether it be training or finding schools or whatever else that it is. You're building that audience now, and it will pay off in the future when you get towards your goal. Number 2 is you learn the whole process of how to get it done. You're going to be uploading, you're going to be editing, you're going to figure out how to light it, you're going to really figure out how it all works. So that way you're not figuring it out on the go as you're already a pro wrestler. You're already there and you're able to create a better product for the audience that's already following you and for the new audience that's going to find you as you continue to create new videos. Also, the process of just being able to figure out how it works with having content that people can find, how to learn how to tag it and write descriptions and titles properly, how to create thumbnails. That's where the graphic design can come in handy as well. There's just a lot of reasons to start now, and one of the biggest reasons too could be that if you build up a big enough audience, you could possibly monetize it very early on in your process. Being an independent wrestler isn't exactly the biggest money-making job there is out there. So if you start your process now and you can monetize, it'll be much easier to afford things like wrestling school, wrestling gear, new merchandise. You'll be able to travel and afford your gas and food on the way towards your shows. There's a lot of reasons why you should be doing this thing that I'm doing right now and not waiting until it's too late. Get early in on the process, figure it out, and master it by the time you're in the ring. And finally, tip number 5. No spinneroonies here. Tip number 5 is that you need to be in the mindset to live this process of being a professional wrestler. You can't just put it aside and do it on weekends. If you want to make it, if you want to be successful, you have to fully commit to the process. And it's going to be very hard because people are going to question your dream. People are going to question whether or not you have it. People are going to question whether or not you're good at it. So you need to convince yourself, and you need to be in that mindset all the time to be able to get better and better at it every single day. Some of you may not enjoy going to the gym, but you need to be in the mindset of doing that to get better, to make your goals, your dreams accomplishable. I think that's a word. But the idea is to always be around things that will inspire you, motivate you, and drive you to continue to be in this process and not escape it. So how do we do that? There's sources of inspiration everywhere. You can follow professional wrestlers, on social media. There are certain YouTube channels, whether it be fitness motivation, positivity motivation, and just mindset shift videos and channels that you can follow to inspire yourself. Podcasts are available as well to listen on the go. There's always things to surround yourself with. Channels like this, channels where you can learn more about the behind the scenes of graphic design, video editing, of pro wrestling. There's channels like this. I would recommend following Mike Quackenbush on YouTube as well. He gives a lot of great tips as far as the business of itself of pro wrestling. Really worth it. You just got to stay in that mindset. You have to stay focused. If this is really what you want to do for a living, if you want to live your dream, then you have to make it happen, and you have to surround yourself with people and with things that will keep you in the mindset of always achieving your goal and not distracting you from those things. Little bonus tip for you. Always be yourself. There's so many distractions out there. You will see so many people along the way that will try to tie you in to partying, or the chase, or politics, or the drama behind the scenes. And none of that matters in the long run towards you and your goals and your ambitions. If you want to do this, you have to stay grounded, you have to stay you. Don't be distracted. Don't try to become something to be liked by others. This is all about you achieving your goals, creating a business and brand for yourself to become a professional wrestler and hopefully get to a level that you're content with, that you're happy with, and that you enjoy. It's all about the process, and none of that has anything to do with the process. So keep being you, stay focused, stay driven, stay in the mindset, and keep working at it every single day. So I hope you enjoyed my 5 tips. It's not easy, guys, sometimes. I'm not somebody who's made it, but I enjoy my process every single day on being a professional wrestler. I challenge myself every day in new and interesting ways, whether it be in the gym, whether it be doing these videos or graphic design, a whole bunch of different ways to challenge myself and create better opportunities for myself in the future. It's totally the chase that creates happiness. It's the drive and will to always want to be better. That's what makes you happy. That's what makes you enjoy this process a whole lot more. Now, if you're interested and have more questions because you did like this video, please drop them in the comments below and I will get to them, guys. I have a podcast called Source Code that I release every single month. I have 365 episodes in the catalog from last year. I did one every single day. There's a whole lot of ways you can follow me, but the first thing you should do if you haven't is subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be putting out a whole lot more content every single week, guys. And of course, follow me on Twitter at IamJWalker, because I'm on there all day, every day, interacting, and it's a good way to keep in touch with me and what's going on. If you want to catch me live, I'll be in PCW in Winnipeg, Manitoba, defending my Canadian Championship against Anderson Tyson Moore. I will have something to say about that match on next week's Unhack'd. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching, take care, and have a great day.